How's it going, guys? Needless Space here, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Grounded, and I'm going to go over all the perks you get from each piece of armor, including the bonuses that you get for wearing full armor sets. And we're also going to take a look at some brand new armor that's going to be coming to the game. Alright guys, real quick before we get started, I just want to give a huge thank you to all of you. We have hit 10,000 subscribers. I didn't think we would be here this fast in under a year, but I appreciate every single one of your views. If you do enjoy the video, please feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. But of course, even just watching and tuning in is plenty for me. Alright, let's jump into it. Alright, the first set we're going to talk about is one of the easiest to obtain and probably the first armor set that you will put on, and that's the Clover Armor. Now this armor, even though it is so easy to craft, it is still one of my favorites. So each piece individually will give you the fuller perk, which essentially it makes it to where you won't get as hungry as fast. You can eat some food and it'll take longer for your hunger meter to drain. And if you get a full set, you get the moist bonus, which is the same thing but for thirst. You won't have to drink nearly as often. I like this armor set because basically you can put it on whenever you're just doing casual exploring or gathering items, and you won't have to worry as much about finding food or water. It is perfect for an early game set. To get the full set, you're gonna have to farm some clover leaves, make some woven fibers, and get a couple sprigs. Not too bad at all. Now the next set we're going to cover is also one that is fairly easy to obtain, and that's the Acorn Armor. Now each piece individually gives a boost to your max health, and a full set of the Acorn Armor will give you the Uncrackable perk, which basically allows you to block more often before your block is broken. So this armor is perfect for when you decide you need to take on some of the bigger bugs. To get a full set, you need to farm out some acorn shells, mite fuzz, sap, and craft some woven fiber. Alright, the next set has actually some very interesting perks, and that's the ant armor. So each individual piece increases the amount you can haul by 1. So when you're carrying things like grass planks or weed stems. And when you wear a full armor set, it gives you the Hue Ant perk, and this makes it to where other ants won't bug you, even the soldier ants, so it's perfect when you want to go exploring in an ant hill to gather materials, or even if you're just doing some building or resource gathering. In order to craft a full set, you're going to need an ant head, some ant parts, acid glands, mite fuzz, and woven fiber. Alright, the next set we're going to go over, which you will need a shovel for, is the Grub Armor. So each set individually increases your maximum stamina. Now wearing a full set of the Grub Armor gives you the Plump and Juicy perk, which is actually currently unknown 100% what it does, but a few people have come forward and said they believe it increases your chance of attracting bugs or being spotted. Now this set isn't really something I would worry about farming for. It is nice having the extra stamina when you're fighting bugs or when you're gathering resources, but other than that, I wouldn't really consider it anything to really go for. To get a full set, you're going to need to farm some grub hides, weevil meat, grub goop, dry grass chunks, and mite fuzz. Now the next armor set we're going to go over is one of my favorites and is perfect especially for endgame, and that's the Ladybug Armor set. Now each piece individually increases your block strength, and when you have a full set, it'll give you the Scarlet Embrace perk, which allows you to passively regenerate your health. And this armor set has the highest defense in the game at the moment, so it's perfect if you're trying to farm out spider materials or really any sort of materials that come from larger bugs. In order to get the full set, you're going to need to get a ladybug head, ladybug parts, flower petals, and berry leather. The next set is probably the hardest set to obtain in the game, and that's the Spider Armor. So each piece individually will give you the Hyper Stamina perk, which will increase the speed that your stamina regenerates. And if you manage to get a full set, you'll get the Hunter's Prowess perk, which basically makes your basic movement speed faster. So it's perfect for when you're fighting bugs and you want to strafe away from their attacks, or if you want to do some sneaking around, it'll allow you to move much faster. If you decide to tackle the challenge of getting a full set, you're going to need to get some spider fangs, spider chunks, spider silk, and berry leather. Now before we go over the armor sets that are coming to the game, let's go over some armor pieces that do not have a full set but still give you some perks. So first off, let's talk about the aphid slippers. Now these ones don't really have very good defense, but when you're wearing them, it'll make your sprint speed much faster. So they're actually pretty useful if you're trying to move items from, say, one base to another, or if you're just trying to scout out some new areas. In order to craft them, you're going to need some raw aphid meat and mite fuzz. Now the next piece we're going to go after is pretty easy to craft. It's the eye patch. Now this will just basically increase your attack, which is pretty useful in basically any fight or any material you're trying to farm from bugs. It actually makes it to where when you have a mint mallet, instead of it taking 5 hits to kill an orb weaver, it'll only take 4. In order to craft one, you're going to need some woven fiber, fiber bandages, and sap. The next piece we're going to talk about is the mite hat. So this one's nothing too crazy. It gives you the hyper stamina perk, which is the same perk that you get from each individual piece of the spider armor that increases your stamina regeneration. So I guess if you do want to get that perk in your hands, but aren't really at the point where you can farm spider materials, this is the one for you. In order to craft it, you need some mite fuzz and grub hides. Not too hard to do. The next piece of gear is essential if you want to explore the entire map, and that is the gas mask. It gives you the perk Gas Guard, which makes it to where you can explore the area with the leaking weed killer without being affected. As far as I know, this is the only way you can go into this zone. If you want to craft this yourself, you're going to need a weevil nose, some gnat fuzz, woven fiber, and a stink bug part. Alright, now let's get to the armor sets that are currently not in the game, but that will be added in a future update. And the developer has actually come out and said that they will be updating the game monthly, so it won't be long before these are actually part of the game. So first up, let's talk about the bee armor set. Now this one, you actually can find a rotten set in one of the anthills, but it can't currently be crafted on its own because there isn't any bees in the game yet. Now each piece of the bee armor individually will increase your sprint distance, so it's perfect when you're trying to make your way across the map quickly, and wearing a full set will give you the fuzzy cushion bonus. Now this is another one where it isn't 100% confirmed what it does, but based on the name, I think it's fair to assume it's going to reduce fall damage. Now the next set that currently is not in the game is the koi fish armor. So this one's a little different than other sets. The helmet gives you plus veteran diver perk and the greaves give you plus swim speed. Now based on the name, you can tell that the greaves are going to make you swim a little faster, and nobody is certain what the veteran diver perk is, but if I could make a fair assumption, I would say it increases the amount of time that you can be underwater. And since the set is not 100% game ready and not in the game, it is unknown what the set bonus will be. Alright guys, well I hope you found this video useful, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribe to the channel for more. But like I said, even you just tuning in and watching is plenty for me. I will catch you guys in the next video, and as always, good luck and have fun.